Hi everyone, I'm I'm a senior DevOps engineer at Simcon. I'm excited to share with you that today I'm going to be presenting a session on AWS Systems Manager, simplifying infrastructure management. I'm thankful to Michael K and 90 Days of DevOps for providing me with this opportunity to present a wonderful session. So without further ado, let's begin with the session. So what is going to be the agenda for this session? We'll first do an introduction to AWS Systems Manager. Then we'll understand AWS Systems Manager along with all its key features. Then we'll do a quick start with AWS Systems Manager. What that means is we'll be going to do a demo around AWS Systems Manager, and we'll also be discussing the features like Sessions Manager, Parameter Store, and Run Command. Additional resources for continued learning. So I'll also be sharing some of the additional resources that were helpful for me for learning the AWS Systems Manager, and hopefully you all get value from it. So let's start. Introduction. So what is the AWS Systems Manager? AWS Systems Manager is fully managed service by AWS. So what that means is AWS takes care of managing the resources for you, and you are only responsible for your application itself, right? So your infrastructure management is taken care by AWS itself. This is helpful for both your AWS resources as well as your on-premise resources. It is key in helping you simplify operational tasks. So few of the operational tasks that you want to do are simplified with the help of this service itself. Think about your software inventory, your maybe patch management things, and your operational workload. All of them are automated with this service itself. It is a free service by AWS itself. So a pretty helpful service if you want to do any of your operational tasks. Understanding the AWS Systems Manager. Right, we'll go over a few key features or core components of the AWS Systems Manager here. Okay, so think about Systems Manager's core components as backstage tool, which is helping you deliver a better performance, right, on your production level things, right? So think about services or features like State Manager. So State Manager helps you for configuration consistency. Inventory. Think about inventory, which helps you for resource tracking. Automation. Think about it for seamlessly helping with task automation. These are few of the features or core components of your Systems Manager, which help you with delivery of your on-stage DevOps practices, right? Okay, so we'll go over each core component of your Systems Manager, right? So think about State Manager, right? So State Manager, think about it as conductor, which helps you ensuring that all your instruments play in harmony. So all of your configurations are done in a proper manner, right? So it maintains desired configuration for resources, ensures configuration consistency across instances, as well as facilitates the efficient management of configuration. Right? This state manager is really helpful in ensuring all of your configuration of all of your resources is in a proper manner. Right? We'll go over it when we do a demo as well. Core component, inventory. So think about inventory is like a backstage path to see what's happening behind the scenes in your DevOps production. It provides you with a unified view of resources, efficiently tracking management of changes, enhancing resource management. Right. So this inventory tool is again a really helpful tool which helps you view everything in one place. Right? Show you an example. Yeah. So here you see the inventory has a dashboard containing all of the things. You can then filter it by resource groups or tags or inventory types. Right? You can see what all is happening within your EC2 instances or maybe even your on-premise resources. Right? Okay. Next component is automation document. So think of automation document as a DevOps magician, turning your manual tasks into hands-free operations. Right? This is a powerhouse for automating your operational tasks, creation and management of automation workflows, ensuring seamless task execution. Right? So what it helps you with is essentially, if you take a look at it, this screenshot here, create document. You have a few already pre-created, pre-filled templates that AWS provides. Things like maybe AWS attach EBS volume. It helps you in attaching. So here you just need to give it some basic information like which instance we're talking about, which volume we're talking about, and it helps you by doing this task itself, right? So this is like a task that is already pre-built for you. Just need to attach it with their instance, and it will basically do an EBS volume attach, right? Or maybe let's say AWS copy snapshot. So here you just need to give it instance details and it will basically do a copy snapshot, right? So all of these automation document or automation component is basically helpful for you to do this kind of operational task manually, which you're doing, this operational task you're doing manually, it makes it easier for you to do with some automation, right? Okay. So parameter store. Think about parameter store like a watchman, safeguarding the valuable secrets in your DevOps pipeline. So a lot of the companies within the DevOps space are using parameter store for storing their secrets. So it maintains desired configuration for resources, ensures configuration consistency across EC2 instances. So all of these EC2 instances have similar configurations. So all of these are maintained within the parameter store. Also facilitates efficient management of your configuration. The parameter store is a very useful tool if you want to manage your secrets within your applications. Okay, here is a screenshot of how we can use parameter store. You can see my parameters include some of the parameters that I have mentioned. They are all you can use create parameter to create parameters. Some of them are public, some of them are private, and all of them have different types ranging from string to secure string, right? Okay. Now we move on to another core component, which is patch manager. Think about patch manager as a medic, ensuring that your system is healthy and resilient to vulnerabilities. It automatically does patching processes, provides compliance reporting, and ensures that your instances are up to date and secure. Okay, this is a screenshot about how patch manager works. Basically go and see patch baselines. So these baselines are baselines that AWS provides by default, which you can use to create or configure patching for your workload. Right? So things like patch line for CentOS, Linux, or Windows are all provided here. And you can just select a particular baseline and then you do configure patching, which will ensure that patching happens for a particular workload according to the baseline which is provided. Right? With that said, now we move on to integration with AWS services. So the Systems Manager service is a useful service in a way because it is very helpful and easy to integrate this service with other AWS resources. Think about IAM, right? So Identity and Access Management. It is very easy to integrate IAM with your Systems Manager. Right? Similarly, think about CloudWatch for monitoring, right? It's also very easy to integrate Systems Manager with CloudWatch, right? So the diagram that you see below is where you've used AWS Systems Managers, State Manager, Inventory, Maintenance Window, Patch Manager, Sessions Manager, and Fleet Manager for doing a lot of the operational tasks on our EC2 instances. And we also use CloudWatch, S3 to integrate with our EC2 instances via the Patch Manager or via the Systems Manager. Correct. Okay. So another example that we might want to look at is basically you want to use the AWS Systems Manager to automate patching processes for all of your instances, right? Think about all of your EC2 instances are using Ubuntu Server 18.04 or maybe 16.04, which is an outdated or non-compliant instance, right? So now all of them have AWS Systems Manager agent installed in them, right? So we can use AWS Systems Manager as Patch Manager, or in production in cases we can use Maintenance Windows for patching the Ubuntu server from 18.04 version to the latest, which is 20 or 22 version, right? So this is helpful utility or tool that we can use to do the patching work, and this is again automated in a way because you don't have to manually SSH into the instance. You do not want to then have to update yourself. Instead of this, you just use the core component of the System Manager, which is Patch Manager, to do the version upgrade from 18 or 16 to 20 or 22. Right? So this is definitely a very helpful tool in a way, right? Okay. So we start with AWS Systems Manager. So let's say we're going to discuss that. So we're going to be doing a guided demo on AWS Systems Manager, right? We're going to be seeing AWS Systems Sessions Manager, Parameter Store, and Run Command in action. Other features like Patch Manager, State Manager, and Automation Document are not possible to be covered in this session, but I will also be sharing a few resources which will help you to explore Patch Manager or State Manager or Automation Document in more further detail, right? So with that said, let's go over the demo. Okay. Let's go over the console. I'll basically go over an IAM role. We'll first have to create an IAM role. Right? So I'm creating a role. It is for AWS service. What is the use case, right? So I need it for an EC2 instance, and I need to allow two instances to call systems manager. Correct. That is the role I'm creating. By default, fix the policy name to be Amazon SSM managed instance code, right? And then go next, and we name it something like EC2 SSM role, right? Allow EC2 instances to call AWS services like Cloud Hosting System Manager by default, and we do a create role. Okay, this role is created. Now we go to maybe EC2 instances itself. One thing to note is I'm in North Virginia region. You might want to do whatever region works for you. Okay, we are in EC2 instances. I do a launch instance, right? And I do, let's say maybe I write Linux, right? I write a Linux instance. I'm using Linux quick-start instance. This is the instance type. This is 2023 MI. I'm using 64-bit architecture. You can also use ARM architecture. The instance type that I'm using is T2 micro. You can also choose to use another T2 nano or T2 small. T2 micro is a free-tier eligible service. Okay, so here key pair, I'm saying proceed without a key pair. The reason why I'm saying this proceed without a key pair is because I'm not going to be using a key pair for doing an SSH into the EC2 instance. I'll be using AWS Systems Manager core component, which is Session Manager to do it, right? So that is why I'm not using key pair. So the VPC that I'm selecting is default VPC with no subnet preference. Create a security group. Creating a security group or launch wizard 1, and I'm giving it SSH and anywhere permissions, right? Okay. Configure storage. Don't want to do a configure storage. I'm going into the additional details, and I'm selecting IAM instance profile. Select the one that I created, SSH EC2 SSM role. Okay, and then I do a launch. This is basically launching the EC2 instance with the provided security group and the provided roles, right? Okay, this is some of the things I was doing previously, but this is the Linux instance that we're talking about. Right? It will be running shortly. Let's say we go to Systems Manager design, right? So then we can just scope around and see what are the features available within the Systems Manager, right? So you see on the left hand side, you see Operation Management is the Explorer, Ops Center, CloudHost Dashboard, Incident Manager. A lot of features available here. Automation. This is the one that we are talking about when we say automation. It includes the automation document. Right? You go over it and just do a execute workload, maybe execute automation, right? Just to give a quick glance on what are the available. So you could also do AWS attach IAM to an instance, right? So I can just click on this and then maybe go next, and then maybe provide an instance ID, role name, and automation assume roles. So I can also be giving any role to this, right? And could be forcibly replacing it, right? And also we have an option to do a CloudHost alarm for this, right? So all types of possible options are available here. Right? Go back. Just glancing over a few functionalities. We have our instance running. Okay, the instance running. So let's just now go over to Fleet Manager. Okay. Fleet Manager basically should be, okay, you have this Fleet Manager running, which shows you a node ID with instance role. Let's go over this instance, and where we'll be able to see two things, right? I want to see files. So I'll be able to see what all files are present in this instance, right? So yeah, you see bin, boot, dev, right? Say I go here, I say actions, I need to rename it, right? I can rename the home. You can also delete, cut, copy, paste, and all of these are possible options. Associations, yeah, it is associated. Okay, cool. So this is what's possible with Systems Manager, Fleet Manager. Now let's do an SSH into the instance. Let's say I select this Linux instance. I have EC2 instance option, SSH client, EC2 serial console. I do a Sessions Manager, right? I want to just connect your instance without SSH key, without a bash host, or without opening any inbound ports. Right? I can connect it directly. Just need to do a connect, and then I'm in the EC2. Okay, so I'm in the EC2, right? I see a lot of options. Correct. Okay. So we are in the Systems Manager. Okay. Now let's do another thing. Let's do a run command. Right? I want to just do a simple run command to maybe just create a file, and then I can see it. Right. So let's do a run command. AWS run shell script, something like that. Okay, this is the shell script that I have. I do sudo touch hello from systems manager. Okay, and then maybe sudo touch dash hello from systems manager. Use an instance manually. I will select the Linux one and disable this bucket and power and I do a run. Okay, it's basically running and then success. Okay, it's run. Success, right? Maybe just click on it and view output, and it will show you output 0, no errors. Now I go into the instance, I do an sessions manager to connect again, SSH into the instance. I maybe need to just to go into the okay, I am okay. Here you see hello from systems manager is available. This is a file that we created with the run command and it's available here. It shows that probably our run command is successful. Correct. Okay, so this is what I have done for the demo. Let's maybe just show you another patch manager is also available. You can probably just have a quick glance at the patch manager itself just to see how do you do a patch. Basically you do a scan and install, do a reboot if needed, patch all the resources and do not store logs. I can do a patch. Right? We'll start the patch. It will take time, so that's why I'm not included in the demo. Till then we can also maybe look at, okay, I think that should be all for this session. Okay, I think that should be all for the session. Okay, so what did we discuss in the demo? We saw sessions manager, we saw parameter store. Okay, we didn't see the parameter store, I guess. Let's just go over here. We need to see parameter store, right? Parameter store also you can see. Okay, here is parameter store. You just create a parameter, name it maybe something like an op and config, something like that. You can have options, string list, string. I do a string list, right? And I then name it value, something like this, right? And then I create parameter. It's basically something created within my parameters as like opt and on. Correct. This is another example of creating a parameter, and then you can attach this parameter to your EC tools, your IAMs, or your day-to-day other resources, like Lambda functions, something like that, right? Okay, so I think with that said, let's say what we've discussed so far. So we've discussed so far systems manager's run command, parameter store. We also looked at patch manager or maybe state manager or automation documents, but it covered it in detail. I'll also share some resources that will help you with discussing this in detail. Okay. Conclusion. Okay. So what are the key takeaways that we take from a service like AWS Systems Manager? It helps you with centralized operational excellence. It also helps you with automation of your operational tasks or operational workloads, correct? And which is helpful for DevOps people, empowering them to actually work on your other tasks, right? Security is at the core of this service itself. It also helps you in simplified configuration management for your workloads, for your EC2 instances, or for your on-premise resources, correct? Then also, it also helps you with resilient infrastructure with patch management. So what we mean here is, if you want to do any patch management, it helps you with running a very resilient infrastructure. Right? So, cheers and for making it to the end of the session. Any questions? So, if you have any questions for AWS Systems Manager or how do you basically use any of its core components, do feel free to reach me at LinkedIn or Insta or maybe Twitter. I'll drop the resources of my links down below. Where can you learn more? So, further learning about AWS Systems Manager, I've shared this resource, which is linked to explore the AWS Systems Manager service itself. My Macron file, or the file that I've shared for the 90 days of DevOps challenge, is also available on the GitHub repository itself. So do go over it and share your thoughts also. Community engagement, I hope, and I would love for all of the people that are watching this video to go over the entire 90 days of DevOps DevOps challenge. I'm sure that it will be helpful for you in your career journeys to becoming a better DevOps person or better DevOps engineer. Thank you everyone for taking part in this challenge, and thank you everyone for listening to my session. I'm grateful and thankful to everyone who tuned in, and best wishes for your DevOps journey. Thank you and have a nice day.